we need to prepare an episode to premiere at Otakuthon in Baltimore in a handful of weeks. So I'm just going to have you record the whole first episode as that character. Now, I wasn't cast, mind you. I was just going to record it temporarily for them to have it ready for Otakuthon. Larkin Seal, who sang Ready, Steady, Go, was going to be a musical guest, so they wanted to have this big Full Metal premiere that year. So I recorded the whole show, and when I did, I realized, oh, this kid's kind of important. He's like, in Fullmetal Alchemist, he's like the Fullmetal Alchemist. So I loved it, and I knew nothing about it, but then started a big waiting game where they didn't cast, and didn't cast, and didn't cast. And I started getting these emails and finding out more about the show and realizing that it was a very popular show, just like Caitlin said. So ultimately, I got the call that I was going to be playing the character. And then I started getting emails saying, you better not screw it up. You guys, I had probably done 40 shows by that time, and I had never received an email from a fan saying, you better not screw up this anime. So that was the first indication that it was going to be a pretty big show, an important show that had a fan base, that people were paying close attention to the show and the English dub. So that's my story. Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, my story is... Mine's probably a lot like yours, except, you know, I'm looking at the characters and it was really easy. I was like 11 when I auditioned, I think.
So you auditioned for Armstrong, basically.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Behold my artistic alchemy!
Hello. That's much better.
Eat that thing, baby.
We use these for a living.
Yes. Make love to it.
Good morning.
Hello.
Love the mic. That's what I mean to say. Love the mic. It loves you. Oh yes, it does.
Alright, so it was a lot like that, you know. I auditioned, had no idea what I was auditioning for. I hadn't done 40 shows, I'd done 2. And I had done, what is it? I think I'd done 2 episodic characters at that point. I'd done Hero and Fruits Basket, and... Yeah, he's kind of a jerk, though. And I think I'd done Young Yusuke in Yu Yu Hakusho, too, like, in just one random episode, and so it was kind of a huge jump for me. Pretty much that show, watching Fullmetal Alchemist from beginning to finish, you're watching Aaron learn to act. Because I could read before, but I couldn't act. And it was pretty cool. So yeah.
He's kind of a prodigy, you guys. I mean, if I had a nickel for every email that I got that said, well, Aaron Dismuke became a voice actor at 11 years old, so I can, I'm 13, right? Well, Aaron's a genius. Aaron can read really good, which is important, and he had a really good demeanor and some natural ability, and so he was just quite an enigma to be doing what he was doing at his age. I remember Mike McFarlane telling stories about, you know, even though Aaron was a prodigy, he was still 11. So you lock an 11-year-old kid in a box, and within about a half an hour, he's like, let me out! So Mike McFarlane used to promise him, give me one more line, Aaron, and I'll let you go play Halo for 15 minutes. So he had to bribe him with video games.
Play Halo with the technical staff. I was had a big game going, like, they had 2 Xboxes hooked up, so it was 8 people total. Pretty awesome.
Why don't you pick a question?
Alright, Mario.
Okay, my question is, since that you've done both Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood, you've had some time to do the voice work. You've been able to do voice work to your character, and in a sense, give them a certain personality. And throughout that voice work, have you ever felt that whatever character that you've been doing has reflected their personality upon you, and were you changed by that? Like how did Eric or Alphonse or Whitney how did their personalities reflect you, and did it change you in any way?
Well, like, you know that phrase, what would Jesus do?
I can't wait
It
to hear
really
this.
applies to Alphonse. You can just ask yourself, what would Alphonse do as well?
Alphonse is Jesus.
I never knew.
In a can, Jesus in a can.
And
This is a beautiful image.
Alphonse
Like a
is
great
Jesus
song.
in a can.
You should write a song. Jesus in a can!
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a commercial jingle.
Featuring Aaron Dismuke as the voice of Jesus. / Alphonse. By day, he's Alphonse Elric. At night, he's the savior.
In a can.
Savior in a can, that's what it should be.
Anyway, yeah. So how did our characters, or did our characters at all kind of rub off on us as people? Well, it's we kind of give life to them in a way, like without our voices, they're just drawings on the screen, but how we do that is actually dictated by their movements, the facial expressions, everything that's already been drawn. So, I don't know, I think almost to a degree we were chosen because our voices could best combine with what was drawn to really bring them to life. I don't really know. I'd say, did Winry change me? I think playing her made me a better actress. Because there's some really difficult moments that she has in her experiences in the show. I don't know that like it made me go out and want to learn how to be a mechanic or anything like that. But I know I really love doing it.
I realized the other day that I've played Edward Elric longer than any other character I've ever done. So a lot of people say, you know, what's your favorite character? And while I love a lot of the roles I've played, I mean, none of them have lasted as long. You know, I kind of think of like Yul Brynner when he played the King in The King and I, which that may be before a lot of y'all's time, but he did it for like, what, 40 years? I mean, he played one character for 40 years. And I mean, you can imagine how tightly knit he must have felt with that character. Most anime series are like, what, 26 episodes? And if you're lucky, you know, you get two seasons, and now you're at 52, and that's about it, unless you get into something like Dragon Ball Z or 3,000 episodes. You know, but you know, with Fullmetal, there were 51 episodes, and then a movie, and then video games, and then an OVA, and now Brotherhood, 64 more episodes, and a movie. So I have really come to love Ed a lot. I tell you know what my favorite part of playing Ed is having a little brother. I'm an only child, and Aaron has heard this before because we've done a lot of events together, but I'm an only child, and I always imagine if I could have a sibling, I would not want an older sister, I would not want an older brother, and I would not want a younger sister. Ideally, I would want a younger brother. And so from the very get-go, when Aaron was still, you know, 12 and 13 and 14, and we were working on stuff and going to cons, I mean, he kind of became like a little brother. We would wrestle around and have snowball battles, and you know, and I have such fond memories of working on this show with him. And I think my favorite part of playing Ed was being able to kind of vicariously have a little brother in the series. So I think that